the record show, Cindy, the Supervisors Cassiola, Fisher, Kyle, Menegizio are in attendance. In addition to our Chief of Police, Sean Bukovinsky, and Director of Public Works, Bill Bottorff. Rich Gizio also is our attendant. He's here. At this time, we do ask for citizens' comments before we go into any business on the agenda. So if you have any questions on items you see on the agenda, please feel free to bring it up now.
Tommy, we're going to do the salute flag?
No, we dispense with formalities on special meeting. Anybody have a comment on what you see on the agenda? Yes, sir.
I do.
Can you speak up loud enough so everybody can hear?
Sure. I feel that you guys are all doing the right thing up there by supporting our new chief up here. Well, he's not really our new chief any longer, but I really think that that's very, very important, especially after just the episode last week with Cannonsburg and just the way the times are today. 40 years ago, we moved in here. We never locked the door. Of course, we never had anything to take either. But today, with the way times are and just all the doping and some of the different things that goes on today, I really think that we're lucky and fortunate to have a police force led by someone with the integrity that Mr. Bukovinsky, our chief, has. So I wanted to thank him. I think probably for almost everyone sitting here.
I also appreciate your helping us accommodate. Our zoning hearing board meets the third Monday of every month. They've done it for years and years and years, and because we had to call a special meeting, we didn't want to bounce them out of their room, and that's their night, so we took this place here. Appreciate you accommodating us. There's another, yes, sir.
Tom, is this the time for citizen comments on the fire code?
No.
Okay.
It's at the end of the meeting.
What's that?
All right, anything else on the agenda?
He said he'll see you at 11 o'clock.
All right, for our first item of business, we need to consider a proposed 2017 budget. Any motion? Again, we talked about no tax increase. It comes to for millage, it's 1.05 mills for the Township General Fund, 1.18 mills for road machinery.
0.18?
0.18. And 0.27 mil for the fire departments. Do we have that, what's actually come to,
1.5098 mils.
Okay, we have a motion to adopt our millage rate. Is that the order we set up our agenda for?
Yes, budget, public works
All right.
contract.
Is there a motion to adopt our millage at 1.509? It's been moved, is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. For second item, we have a public works contract that was proposed and has been worked on for the last couple of months. Is there a motion to approve that contract? And again, we'll have up the details once we find out if the Teamsters votes on it. But from our end, is there a motion to approve the proposed contract? If there's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. All right. Anybody have any items they need to bring up to the board? We can address any issue that's not on the agenda now. Would you please make sure you speak up so everybody can hear?
I'm here myself, Ralph Libertor is my name. I live here in Ridgewood Heights. And Dave Brown, who's my neighbor, we're here to talk about some resolution for property damage based on the development, original development that was done in Ridgewood Heights. I understand that it was brought up a few weeks ago. We were here. The engineer from Gateway was here and made a case for us. But from what I gathered, I don't believe all the information that was presented really presented a clear, concise case. Neither Mr. Brown nor I are
Please don't drift off.
okay. Neither one of us are looking for anything but a repair to our property. And words mean things, but pictures mean more things. So I have pictures of the damage. And I'd like to kind of put them here for you. And I only need 2 sets, so could you share a set 3 of you?
Yes.
And sure if you can do that. I can kind of go through that. You can take the clip off.
I said there are four of us.
Well, I thought you'd sit close together and I could speak. Okay, if you take a look, I'll explain the pictures in the order they're there.
You stand over there so they can hear you. If
Okay.
your back's to them, they can't hear you.
All right. Okay, the first picture on the back is number 1. Okay? That's a picture, it runs 3 areas. It runs my governor's driveway, my landscaping, my rear driveway, Mr. Brown's landscape yard, and his driveway. This first picture is a picture of my governor's driveway as it was attached to the existing gravel road. And you can see my property line as well, but what you see is the mud hole was actually the existing road. It was kind of ripped up as a result of construction. But you see there's a smooth transition prior to construction of that road from my governor's driveway to the road. If you take a look at the next picture, number 2, that is now the transition from my governor's driveway to the road. There is a sheer 17-inch drop. If you look at the following picture, picture 3, you will see a close-up of the yardstick. 17-inch sheer drop off of my driveway. I put cones there because it was Halloween and we were afraid the kids were going to fall off and break a leg. So Mr. Brown and I stood out Halloween nights with lights and we tried to keep that from happening. Now, what the developer offered was one slab to try to transition from my driveway to the road. On the next picture, which is picture 4, you can see a line with the line level extending the one slab replacement that he offered to do. If you look at the following picture, the large picture, you can see the line level showing a 25-inch drop. This big picture. 25-inch drop in a 12-foot run. That's a 19% grade. The language in the contract between the developer and the township said that they would provide for a smooth transition between the existing driveway and the new road and replacement of material in kind. And what I'm saying is 19% grade is not a smooth transition. I have a copy of the Cecil code, which shows the standard drop on a driveway of 8% from Washington County Cecil code from the zoning. And any contractor I've talked to said, once you get above 10, you're running into bits of a problem. So it really needs 2 slabs to make a smooth transition by anybody's standard. The next picture you see is the property line between my governor's driveway and my back driveway. You can see a smooth transition. You can see a smooth transition. This is picture number 6. You can see a smooth transition from my property to the old road. If you take a look at the next picture, you see the new macadam road and you see what happened to the transition on my property. This picture was number 6 on the back. Okay, that's 6 foot of gravel. That's not grass. That's not material in kind, as the contract says. Replacement of material in kind and a smooth transition. Now that's a 4-foot yardstick. So there's about 8 feet of gravel there, not grass, not material in kind. Now, if you look at the next picture, you can see a close-up of that. It's not a smooth transition, not material in kind. Now, as you move closer to my governor's driveway, what you see is a sheer drop. There's no gravel at all. They basically cut into my yard, and there is a 15-inch drop from the edge of my grass now down to what is the road, the castle. Right? By anyone's measure, I submit 15 inches off of my grass down to the road is not a smooth transition. Okay? Here, this was this grass here. What this is now is looking along this line from my driveway. This grass line is completely gone.
This is behind the wedge cut right here.
Yes, that's
He
behind the
addressed
curb.
it in something.
No, he didn't quit. That was all grass to the road. Now, I have 8 feet of gravel from the stream kind. Now, when you get up here, what you see is that, you can see how this strip narrows. When you get here, there's no gravel. What there is a literal 17-inch, 15-inch disc, yes. It goes off the grass 15 inches down to the curb.
So let me ask you this question before you go on, because I know exactly what you're talking about. So when he came before our board, he
Can you
had,
speak up so everybody can hear?
sure. What had happened was a developer came before the Board of Supervisors at our November meeting and this had been part of, well, not this, but there had been part of the motion that was made to include in our approval of release of funds, the
Restoration.
restoration of some of your property, but it was made to sound to us, or at least to me, by the engineer, that it was simply a couple of slabs of concrete that you needed poured on the end of, not of your governor's drive, but a driveway that came out of the side.
Well, I haven't got to the back driveway yet, that's the back
Well,
driveway.
well,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
all that was really
No,
addressed.
I can show you the letter from the engineer, which was a letter of understanding that was produced from a meeting with Mr. Brown, I, Mr. Bryant, and the engineer at this site. And the agreement was 2 slabs for my back driveway, slab for the governor's driveway, and all landscaping.
Well, let me ask you this question, because he had told our board
Yes.
that it would be completed within 5 business days.
All right. Nothing has been touched here. Nothing.
I have letters dated back from the developer from back in September, saying it will be done by this date, it'll be done by Halloween. I just got another one that said they're gonna start on Saturday, this past weekend. They didn't
But let me
start.
ask you this question, and tell me now that you're here, I can
Yeah,
ask these
sure.
questions. We were led also to believe that it was simply a timing issue because the person that was going to pour the concrete was on vacation. And that once he came back from vacation, that he would be there to complete the work.
You can't pour the concrete until the water line goes across my property.
Right, that was-
So they sent me a contract, they want out of this completely, they want us to take the responsibility for it.
Who is they?
The developer.
He offered us, what happened was the date in the letter of agreement with the engineer, with Mr. Bryan and us, was this would all be done by October 31st. I have a letter sent in the middle of October saying nothing has been done. I've talked to the concrete contractor. He has not been contacted yet. The engineer sent a letter to Mrs. Bryan, and by October 15th, she had said that it will be done by the 31st. On the 31st, they sent us an email saying, well, what if we just give you the money and you take care of it yourself?
Then they
We
sent-
have been negotiating since then. What they've been offering is a very small part of the
So
whole
they
thing.
they offered me $1,200 to repair my driveway.
Is your driveway in this or this?
Yes, there are more pictures. You look at the last 2 pictures, you will see his driveway. This is before. This is before any of the work was done. There's his driveway and there's his stuff.
What is the
Once
cost
they
to
did the
repair
new
your
road,
driveway?
that's what it looks like.
Oh, you're.
That's what I'm getting sheer drop off now.
That's what I want to
They
find
chop in, and also his driveway. Now, he has an 18% for the slab he offered him would produce an 18% drop. He offered him 1 slab, he offered me 1 slab. On the landscaping, I've got a quote from 2 landscapers for $3,400 to reprofile 75 feet of yard, reprofile, remove the dirt, bring in topsoil, seed, grade, $3,400. And what they keep offering me, and I've got emails as late as a week and a half ago, saying we're taking care of the landscaping, Stewart Construction is taking care of the landscaping, we're not offering you any money for that.
But you can't do that right now.
Well, the point is that whenever it's done, we've had agreements before that they have to make on. So I simply said, please give me a description of what that landscaping entails. They refused to give me a description, they just kept saying, we're gonna take care of it. Well, I talked to Mr. Stewart Saturday from my business, Saturday morning, I was told he was taking care of the landscaping, asked him point blank,